pick another passage to go down?
What say you, Talyn? Shall we head off to the south? I'm quite shaken by my encounter with the zombie, so I'll follow meekly behind.
Okay, I'm gonna start creeping down here then.
You can see a lot of bones on the floor.
Can I keep going?
Mhm.
As you carry on, you can see some sort of opening in a chamber with 2 chests which are opened.
Is there anything in them?
Don't just wander in, Jesus. They could be trapped. Well, you've already wandered in, so I'm going to cautiously follow in after.
There's a lot of rocks around the area, some inside the chest, but there's no actual...
Shall we take a closer look?
You can roll perception checks. Wellby does spot what looks to be holes in the walls around here.
So I approach, see if there's anything to it.
You see what appears to be eye holes open up into another room. It seems like a large cavern.
I'll gesture for Talyn to come and take a look for himself.
He sees of the same area, however, he does see a wandering creature, humanoid.
Can I tell what it is?
It looks very much like the creature that you killed back in the star-shaped cavern, except it's not wearing a costume, it's just wearing trousers. Hasn't seemed to have spotted you.
Okay.
Did you see anything?
Just a standard looking zombie. I'm sure nothing to worry about.
A zombie? I didn't see a zombie.
I got better eyes than you.
Yeah.
Shall we head back then?
Yep. Hold on, not so fast. I've only got little legs.
Which tunnel have we not taken? Is that lower left?
The one I'm looking at. I'll take the lead this time.
I'll let you go first, yeah.
I've recovered a bit from my shock with the undead.
As you start to walk through this passage, you feel a very cold draft over the back of your neck. Both of you hear a voice, almost like it's whispering in your ear, but you dare to pit yourselves against the Lord of Landsrock. Death will be your reward.
A mere parlour trick.
If you say so, I'll stay a few paces behind in case there's a trap.
Okay, your bait then.
It's opening up into an area similar to the area you were looking on before. You see a table.
Is the cavern ahead lit or is it dark?
It is dark. As you get closer, you see that the table you saw is actually a flat boulder. There are things dotted around the bottom of the boulder. At a glance, it looks like severed limbs. There's nothing actually on top, and there's baskets at the base of each of the tables.
Can I extinguish my torch? I'm going to rely on Talyn's light.
You can?
Mm-hmm. And then can I draw my bow?
Yes.
And I'll just creep forward a bit to peer around. I'll go forward a bit more.
You start to hear a couple of groans in the distance. They seem to be coming from straight ahead of you. You see 2 creatures, in fact, now, shambling in the darkness.
Then I'm going to shoot some magical goodness into their faces.
Roll initiative!
The zombie creatures seem to be going second, while first it's Wellby.
Okay, well, I'll attack this one here.
Critical hit by the looks of it.
Nice.
10 damage. The arrow flies through the darkness and poof, goes straight into the chest of the creature as he's shambling forward. And then starts to move again.
It's my turn finished.
Both the creatures seem to start to speed up. The shamble turned into a bit of a gallop. So the first one starts to move. Gets to about here. The second one gets to about here. Now it's Talyn's turn.
I'm going to cast Ray of Frost at the same...
Yep, the one on the right.
Yep. I'm going to guess that's a miss.
It's actually a hit.
Oh.
Gets hit by the frost in the darkness, and it's covered in these shards of ice.
Yeah, I gotta move. Sorry, Wellby.
Back to Wellby.
Move to within range of the wounded one, and I'll attack him.
Okay, you swipe at it with your short sword, and you connect. It's going to be 5 damage. You swipe at it on its neck, trying to hack its head off. And then you pull it out, but it's still standing. It is a creature that hasn't been harmed yet. It will hungrily try and grab hold of you, and I believe that's 19 would be a hit. So that's 5 bludgeoning damage. The other creature also tries to punch you. misses badly. Back to Talyn.
I am going to cast Ray of Frost again against the one that's been decapitated but is still standing.
The ray of frost hits its head as it staggers. The head kind of freezes up and eventually explodes into all these shards of icy flesh fly out around the cavern. Its body slumps completely lifelessly to the ground.
Emboldened by this explosion, I'm going to move around to here.
And it is now Wellby's turn.
I will attack the zombie with my short sword.
You swipe at it, and that will be a hit. You swipe across its chest. Some of its guts start to spill out of the open wound. It still stands. It's very mindless. It's just going to go straight for you. Misses. Small halfling that time. Back to Talyn.
Another Ray of Frost.
Yep.
And it's a miss. I'm guessing.
You guessed wrong. It's a hit.
Wow. Do they have any AC whatsoever? Move this way.
Wellby, back to you.
Okay, let's see if we can't finish this guy off.
And that will be a hit.
Die, foul creature.
Okay, you swipe round and slice through its head, straight in a diagonal slice. Its brains spill out over the top, just missing you, and half of it landing onto the stone table.
Well, that was most unpleasant.
I don't suppose you know any healing spells, my friend.
Well, you do have the potions of healing, 2 each, I believe, and you do have your 2 hit dice because you're level 2.
If you need a rest, we can rest.
I mean, it's a beautiful location to kind of sit down and rest your feet.
Can we see anything interesting about the stone tables?
You can do a perception check. Severed body parts sit in their baskets by the corpses, covered in dry gore. Most of the body parts scattered around seem to be severed hands, again with these claws, much larger than a human hand.
I'll ask Talyn if he's familiar with this sort of what looks like necromancy.
Talyn can roll a Arcana check. Yes, Talyn thinks that everything here shows the signs of necromancy. Necromancers sometimes try to enchant individual body parts to have a life of their own.
Might be some kind of experimentation before leading up to something bigger.
Oh, we should be careful.
Do you want a short rest? You're looking a bit weary, old fellow.
Yeah, it's not safe here. We should conclude our business and be gone.
Okay, I'm gonna march ahead then.
Both of you can see the staircase, which you recognise from the spy hole that you looked through before. There seems to be several torches on the walls. They are not lit.
Don't suppose you have a spell to light those torches, Talyn?
Well, if I walk around, I'm going to light them.
Okay.
Maybe we could make a little home of this place. Let there be light.
You can see a table in front of you. It's a stone slab, like a counter that juts out from the wall across from the base of the stairs. It holds saws, knives, and other tools.
I would suggest to Talyn that we carefully make our way up the stairs to see what's in the room at the top.
As you approach up this staircase, you see there's a lever on the wall, which is in a downward position.
So it's been pulled.
I immediately grab it and flick it to the other position.
As you do so, you hear a clunk and a chugging noise. As you get to the spy holes, you arrive just in time to see the roof kind of closing up, and underneath there seems to be panels, and there seem to be decorated what looks like rock on them, and it looks quite convincing.
I wonder what happened here.
Investigation check. You're not sure really.
What say you, Talyn? This confuses me.
It's very clear to Talyn that a trapdoor in the ceiling that held rocks, and the spy holes here were for someone on the side of the chamber that you're on to pull a lever on unsuspecting people when they were trying to access these chests, and thus the rocks which you found earlier probably came from the chamber overhead as a trap.
And that, my friend, is why we don't go marching into chambers and looking in chests without doing a test first.
Life is too short.
It'll be even shorter if you're dead.
You'll both be even shorter as well if you get hit by a heavy rock from overhead.
Yep. Well, there's nothing else to see here, I reckon. Down the stairs.
Okay, it bends round back towards the north. Ahead of you, you can see a passageway leading both left and right.
Should we take the left or the right?
Left.
Immediately you realise it didn't matter whether you went left or right because both paths led round to this spot. However, there is now another split in the tunnel, one leading slightly northwest, one leading slightly northeast.
This was a horror film. I'd suggest we split up.
Let's go to the left again.
Yeah.
Talyn starts to hear a faint hum.
Oh, yes. Wellby, if he hears that weird humming.
Do I?
You'll have to roll a perception check. You didn't hear it passively, at least.
Don't hear it now.
You just hear the wind, really.
Sounds like the
Rain's
wind
going
to
through
me,
the caverns.
Talyn.
Must have been nothing then. You know, what could possibly be down here in a place full of zombies?
Now, Wellby hears perhaps the same hum. In terms of the noise you can hear, it's more like...
Now I hear it too.
In the opening that you can see, there's a slight flicker of a faint light coming through.
I'll gesture for Talyn to stay a bit behind me while I sneak forward.
Yeah, you can roll for stealth.
So I
You
trip
sneak-
and fall on my face.
You sneak forward a little heavy-footed.
What on earth is that?
An oval cabin opens here, 40 feet wide and 60 feet long. Inside this room, you can see dark purple tapestries hanging on the wall. And at the center of the room stands a pedestal fashioned of severed arms, arranged to clutch one another in a cone. You can imagine that. And cradled in the uppermost hands is a glowing crystal sphere. A dark sigil with an eye-like slit floats above the sphere, kind of purple colour.
It's Sauron.
A few feet away, a beam of energy seems to be interacting with this sigil, and it seems to be coming from what looks like a stick, possibly a wand on the ground.
Will I know what this is?
Roll an Arcana check. It's possible this is some kind of vision-like projection. You do think it's being powered by a magic wand on the ground.
By the gods, what's happening here?
I don't know, but nothing good. And we should perhaps try and stop it.
How then? This is your area, not mine.
I'm going to pick up the wand.
I'm going to ready my bow.
You might recognise this wand from the books you've studied. You can try and recollect that from your memory with an Arcana check. You're almost certain, judging from the markings on this wand, that this is a wand of fear, which is quite a powerful wand. Are you still going to pick the wand up?
Yes, I am.
As you pick the wand up, the power that was emanating from it seems to cease, and the sigil disappears, as does it as a light source. A voice from right next to Wellby appears.
Oh, you've murdered us all.
You see a man.
Oh, look at me.
He says, "So, found Orioth's chamber. I am Orioth."
Hello. Fancy meeting you down here.
What's the meaning of this, Orioth?
He says, "Did you see it? Did you see the eye? It saw your every move. Don't you fear it?
Nah.
What I saw was unnatural.
You are not with the others.
Others?
What others?
Death was my reward, but like my creations, I yet live.
So you made those things that tried to kill us?
Bow before the Lord of Landsrock, me, or behold my dark terrors."
Option C, you tell us what happened to the people that came in this cave last, and then perhaps come back to town with us for a spot of jail time.
I sought only to practice my necromancy.
I'll draw my short sword and I'll say to Orioth, "You grave robber, you're a monster."
He starts to shimmer a bit and goes kind of semi-translucent and kind of flickers a bit, and he says, "I had hoped to wait longer before this. My power is not yet complete. Nevertheless, I will feast on your souls."
Initiative.
And you can roll for initiative. His form completely changes. He looks like a semi-translucent version of his previous self. He has no eyes now, they're completely black.
Drink one of my potions.
6 hit points
Brilliant.
regained.
Move to combat range with this evil-looking spectre. Alright, I will probably ineffectually swing my short sword at him.
Okay. You were right when you said ineffectually. You swing your sword and it just passes through it as it kind of like shifts separates its body and its form, and then reforms, and then laughs.
My goodness, I've become the Jeremy Corbyn of attacking spirits.
Talyn's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt. Gonna guess that's not a hit.
A miss, yes.
Well, that's all my level 1 spell slots gone there.
It's turn. It turns its attention to Wellby. That's going to be a hit.
Oh god.
Take 7 necrotic damage as it swipes you, and you can roll a Constitution save now, which you've made. So fortunately, your hit point maximum doesn't go down. It moves through you, round through the wall, but it re-emerges back through the wall here, and is looking towards the gnome. As he laughs. It's Wellby's turn.
Move back into combat range, and I will swing my sword ineffectually at it again.
Yep, you can also equip your dagger as you do, and do both attacks if you...
Yeah, I'll do that.
Here's a miss as you kind of swipe through, and again it moves out of the way and reforms. You still have your dagger. But in your second attack you drive the dagger in. It seems like it harms the creature because it makes that noise, but perhaps not as much as you'd expected. Actually made the accurate strike. It is now Talyn's turn.
Can I cast Ray of Frost into his face?
The beam kind of just goes straight through, hitting the wall, and it is its turn. It will move towards the gnome. As it does so, the halfling can have an attack of opportunity on it.
Okay.
Yep, that will be a strike on it.
Yep.
Roll for damage.
Didn't
Again, you slash through it, but it doesn't quite seem to do the type of damage that you would hope. It carries on moving towards the gnome. It will then reach forward almost into the gnome. And that will be a hit.
Oh,
Oof. So that's 9 necrotic damage, and you need to roll a Constitution saving throw, which you make.
oh.
It turns inside out back to face the halfling and starts to fly over to it, back to Wellby, who's now got this spectre in front of it. Try your worst, halfling. You are weak. Your life will soon be mine.
I think he's right, actually. So I'm gonna drink my other potion. Yeah. I'll do my single attack with my sword. Oh.
You swipe at it, but it flickers out the way. It's back to Talyn.
I'm going to attempt Ray of Frost then. If this doesn't work, I'm going to run for it.
Remember, you don't have to run faster than the foe, just faster than the slowest party member. Okay, you blast the ray from your staff into it. This time, it connects. Just hear him go scream. That seems to do the amount of damage you would expect.
Move to hide behind the rock.
Right. Okay. We'll turn around in anger. As it moves away, Wellby gets an attack of opportunity.
Yay. Oh.
Misses quite woefully. The rock that you're in front of, suddenly it emerges from the side of that. It gets to attack you.
Avenge me!
It reaches in slowly and says, "Yes, that's it. Come here. Come here, gnome." And of course it hits you. Oh,
Oh.
there's 10 necrotic damage.
That's me down.
Wellby, it's up to you to save this party.
But you best roll a crit followed by another crit.
I'm visibly angered seeing my friend fallen, so I'll attack it with my short sword.
You swipe at it, it does seem to connect.
Come on, crit. Ah. Can I do another attack with my dagger?
That will be a hit.
Die, you evil creature.
It seems to separate into a mist and then reforms again. Talyn, you must make a death save. Oh, so you're fine. If you got a 20, you would have come back into the fray then.
With no ability to do anything.
The spectre creature is still turning its attentions towards Wellby. it's going to hit again. So it does 10 damage.
Now, down to 3 hit points.
In addition, you've got to roll a Constitution saving throw, which you make.
Yep.
I'm going to award for his bravery inspiration to Wellby's character. It gives you a free action because of his bravery of not giving up, showing himself to be a true Harper.
Because we're this close to a party wipe.
Well, there is that as well.
Don't break the illusion, Rob.
Alright, well, if I'm going down, I'm going down swinging. Alright, you're going down, creature. Oh no, you're not.
Not with that, it's not. You swipe, it reforms.
That was just a practice swing.
Okay, second attack. Ooh!
That is going to hit. Roll for damage. Roll your dagger. We'll do the damage combined. You do actually manage to pierce it with your dagger at the same time, practically that you swipe at it. In a flurry of attacks, obviously some missing, the ghost ahead of you, Spectre, flickers, shimmers, and splits up and disappears into nothingness.
It's alright, I'll use the potion on you.
Yep.
There we go. It's good. Yeah, down you both.
So
Go down.
2d4 plus 2, you're back in the fray. Well,
Talyn.
you have 3.
Talyn, come back to me.
Did I miss anything?
The creature seems dead. More dead.
Where's the corpse exactly?
Doesn't appear to be a corpse.
You tell me, Master Wizard.
I say we get the hell out of here.
I concur. This place is evil.
Just gonna peg it.
Okay, yeah, you can start to move back. Give it a bit of time. You go back to the split tunnel. Again, there's an eerie quiet about the place. As you get closer to the edge of the tunnel, you start to hear voices from the entrance.
I will whisper, hold, and I will try and sneak forward so I can hear them
Yep.
better. Ooh.
At that point, you can just about tell what they're saying. You hear one voice saying, "Right, what's the plan?" You hear another voice, "Garrick and I will start digging the holes. You and Fletch can bring out the bodies you find in there. It's as simple as that." Another voice going, "You can piss right off. Why am I on corpse detail? We're all in this together." "Stop right there, Holden. As far as I'm concerned, this is your and Abel's mess. I told you this was a stupid idea from the very start. Do you think Larrick will care when he finds out you helped us to bring them here? I'm going to remember this, Hordan. This isn't how you treat your friends." You hear another voice saying, "I'm happy to swap jobs. Ogremuck knows I've handled enough dead bodies in my time." "It matters not. The half-orcs cleared this place. It is clear. Let us carry on." "Thanks for your reassuring words, but I think I will swap with Garrick. Let's be quick about this. We need to be back in town this evening. We should keep an eye out for Harper and his deputies. It's only a matter of time before they check on this place. Right, let's carry on. You two, get in there." You start to hear movement.
Back into the cave.
I'll try and sneak back to where Talyn is. Do I need to make a stealth check for that?
You can do. You can hear your own noise as you walk back.
Right, I will briefly whisper to Talyn. There sound like to be 4 men outside. It sounds like they're up to no good. We're in no condition to fight. We could try and talk our way out.
Do they seem friendly or not?
You can roll a insight check. Wellby is pretty sure that they're undesirables.
These sound like my kind of people. I don't think we should cross them.
Okay, I will do a quick let's hide, and I'm going to switch my light off on my staff. Okay, so I've taken Wellby's hand so he can follow. We're going to the right.
As you kind of move into that section of the cave, you hear the voice going, "Oh, here's one right here. Let's get it."
How wide is the little passageway we're in? Could I create an illusion of that part of the cave being walled off?
Let's see, at its widest point, it's 10 feet. It's about 5 feet at its narrowest part. You could probably cast
My
an
illusion can be up to 5 feet cube.
You
I
could
block
just
off
about
the majority
cover
of
it.
Tell Wellby or signal for him to shush, and then cast my spell to create the illusion of a wall.
You hear the voice, another voice saying, "His head's all smashed in. What the bloody hell's he been doing with him? Very good nick when we gave him. Then you hear the voices trail off as if they're kind of moving away, and you can hear signs of some effort, like as if they're handling something.
I'm tempted to wait it out to see if they will go, because we're in no fit state to take on anyone else.
After a few minutes, you hear the voices again. Alright, well there's 2 in here. Should we get them, or is it worth us looking further in to see how many more of these bloody things we've got? I'd rather do the ones which are closer to the entrance last, then it'd be easier. Whatever you want, I don't care. Come on, let's go further in. Which way is it now? I can't remember. Well, I think it was to the right here, but nah, it can't be, there's nothing here. Down this way, down this passage. You hear the voices trail off in the opposite direction from...
I'll whisper to Talyn that I only heard 2 voices then. I think there are still 2 outside. I'm sure I heard 4.
Okay, I still think we should wait it out.
Technically, during this time, you can start a short rest. Talyn is kind of concentrating on the illusion, but he's only casting it once a minute. Well, I'll tell you what happens. Over the course of the next hour, you hear the voices going back and forth, whinging, bickering about a few different things. One of them, as he's carrying past what seems to be a body. Well, I reckon she was a looker once, you know, but she's not much of a looker now. Neither any of these people. Again, back and forth. After about an hour, you hear the voices again, and they say, well, I think that's it. Yeah, let's go back to Hordan. Tell him we're done. We can give him a hand with the digging. The voices trail off as they talk, and the footsteps disappear. You've had an hour to rest. You can roll your hit dice. During this time, you can also tune the wand to yourself.
I will do.
I think they've gone, Talyn. Yeah, let's make our way out, I guess. I'll feel my way along the wall.
Does it look like the coast is clear?
You can roll a perception check. You don't hear anything.
Oh, daylight at last.
Okay, I think we need to head back to town.
Indeed, back to town. I say, Talyn, that Hordan sounded like a rough sort.
I wonder if it's a name that the town captain or whatever he was knows.
Wellby can roll a investigation check. You remember hearing the names of other people that were mentioned. Garrick, obviously Hordan, Abel, also Fletch. Conversation indicated that someone may be in charge, or they may fear someone called Larak. Yeah, it will take a few hours for you to head back to Red Larch. Travel back, the journey takes you through the hills. You can see a crowd dispersing away from the centre of town. One villager who you've not met yet, walking past, chuckling to himself, going, "Oh, I've never seen something that big before. Look at the size of it. Good grief, big as a cow's head."
I'll say to Talyn, I suspect the captain has had a good ogre hunt.
Back in the centre of Red Larch, ahead of you the crowd is kind of milling about, moving away. You see in the distance a large-looking head on a stick that's near the centre of the town. You recognise a half-orc idly looking at it in curiosity. Oh, the pickle farmer grunts.
His delicious pickles. I kept us going on the road. All right, let's go and take a look at this head. Hello again, Grund.
Grund looks down and goes, "Oh, it's you, the little fellas. Have you seen the size of that? Yeah, I bet you think my head's big. Look at that."
Where did it come from?
It's that guy you were with.
The captain.
Yes, one-eye bloke. Oh, he just swiped it off. I didn't see it. I'd love to see that. I was farming my pickles. Every day I got to do them pickles. You know, people go hungry for pickles. Do you want to buy any more?
I've still got some left from the last lot I bought.
Do you know where the captain has gone?
Someone else might know, but there was a little goblin fella with him in a bag. A well-dressed man steps forward, elderly man. "Now, Grund, I think our guests here know what they can see. And besides, you've got other things to take care of, Grund." "Oh, yeah, it's late, isn't it? I best be getting off. So long, see you soon, and if you want pickles..."
We know where to go.
Yep.
Farewell, Grund.
Grund hops off merrily. "Allow me to introduce myself. I am Elak Dornan. I take care of the operations of Dornan Finestone. I hear you're from Waterdeep. Well, we export much of our stone there. so I'm sure you've seen some of my work, and I've heard about your work too. Bandits? Oof, that is very good. Between your efforts and those of our other recent guests, that's 12 bandits we no longer have to worry about. I am impressed.
Oh, thank you.
Pray, thank you, sir. But who are these other guests you mentioned?
A knight from the south near you, a half-orc, Mirren, I believe his name is. I also help to run our small council here in Red Larch, along with several other well-respected village elders and businessmen and women. But enough about me. I have heard much of you, and you've been here little more than a day. Why are you here in Red Larch?
We've come seeking a shield dwarf historian who is due here. He's many days late now.
Yes, the Mirabar delegation.
Have you word of them?
I am afraid I have not, but perhaps with problems like these bandits and now this monstrosity dead, we can examine the aftermath and see if there's some lead as to where your friends may be.
I would appreciate that, Elak.
Yeah.
The man who brought the ogre in, was it our friend the captain?
Yes, I have heard of this captain fellow. Yes, he indeed bring the ogre in and a goblin that appeared to be in charge of the dim-witted ogre. They questioned him, and then the goblin seemed to disappear. So I'm not sure whether he let him go or not.
The captain let the goblin go.
I believe so, with our knight friend, of course, the half-orc. They questioned him in Harbuck's quarters.
Then I fear we must away to speak to Constable Harper.
You missed the entire commotion. Were you out tackling more bandits?
You could say that, yes.
While the captain was on his hunt for the ogre, he sent us off on an errand to investigate a cave that some foul rumours had sprung up about.
Lance Rock, I presume.
We feared our friend from the delegation might have been waylaid there, but there was no sign of him. There was, however, a sign of the dark sorcery.
Evil has come to this land. These lands are old and ancient. They must be protected. The old dwarven delvers helped forge this land, this kingdom.
Fascinating. But I think we probably need to go find our friend.
Right, we will excuse ourselves and go and see the constable.